I've been doing some thinking today, and it probably is going to sound really random, but I was cleaning out my closet. And as I was cleaning out my closet, I kind of realized how different my clothes have been throughout the years. I've changed my taste. You know, I've gone from more casual to more dressy and things like that. And of course, it's changed getting out of teaching. I didn't need to be dressy anymore. I get to wear jeans to work every day. Um, but I've noticed that as I've changed, that my tastes have changed, that how I've handled things have changed. And as silly as it sounds, it kind of made me think of my Plexus business. And so I wanted to share this thought with you guys while it's kind of fresh in my mind. But I kind of have been thinking about how I can best help you for the times that maybe we can't do a three-way call or a three-way message, so that you feel confident and comfortable talking about our business. I really, really feel passionately about the fact that Plexus isn't about sales. Like, please know that if you join my team because of me, I don't feel like, woo, I sold you, because I just don't feel like that's what it's about. Plexus is about sharing. It's about finding the best products that work for you so that you can most benefit. So I wanted to make sure to tell you about that, and kind of how I talk to people that I feel like might have helped me with my success. And maybe if you're struggling sometimes, you know, maybe adding people to the team, or you just really don't know what to say, I wanted to kind of maybe shed a little bit of light on how I talk to people that I feel like has helped me. Because I definitely can say that through the year that I've been with Plexus, in a couple weeks it'll be my 1-year anniversary. So throughout this year, I feel like I've changed a lot, and I've grown tremendously in how I talk to people and how I handle conversations. So I wanted to kind of let you in on that, because I always try and be as transparent as possible. I want you to be as successful as I am, and I try and be as successful as people above me that are on our team, such as Mandy and things like that. I ask her questions all the time. So I wanted to kind of let you in on how I talk to people, because it's not a secret, but how I talk to people that I think is really important, because it's not about sales. It's not about how many people you can add to your team per se, but more about how many people you can personally impact and help in a month. That's how I view it. Yes, you're adding people to the team. Yes, you want to grow your team. Yes, that's great. But ultimately, that's not why we're here. That's not what this is about. So as harsh as it may sound, if you kind of came to Plexus for a paycheck, then you're not necessarily in it for the right reasons, and that may be part of the reason that you're struggling, if you feel like you're struggling. But I know that Jason just recently started talking more and branching out more and working his business actively. And I know that it's been, as much as I hate to say this, I know it's been a struggle for me watching him sometimes, and the way that men handle things differently. They're very blunt, cut and dry. Here's the information, here's the facts, and that's it. That's not how I am, as you probably know. I'm not fluffy per se, but I just try and make sure that the message that I send doesn't sound salesy. So, for example, when people ask our prices, I don't send them graphics of our prices necessarily. That's typically one of the last things I will do. I also find that it's really helpful to kind of ask, why is it that you feel like you could benefit from Plexus? I ask people that a lot. Why is it you think you could benefit from Plexus? Or what is it that you're hoping that Plexus could do for you? And I feel like by asking questions like that, it kind of opens up the communication and gets an idea of what it is that they want, what they're looking for with Plexus. Because they might not be looking to lose weight. They might not be looking for energy. They might be here for eczema or some other reason, fibromyalgia, something like that. Obviously, in most cases, Triplex is the best because it addresses so many issues. But I just feel very strongly that if when you're talking to people, they say, you know, how much is it? And all you respond with is a price. I don't want to even say 9 times out of 10 because that's 90%. I'd say about 99 out of 100 times, those people aren't going to purchase from you. Like, the only time those people will purchase from you, from my experience, are people that already know they want Plexus because they've already learned about it from somewhere or somebody else. And now they're at the point that they want to buy. You said the Plexus word and they're coming to you to purchase it. The goal is education. That should be your number one goal with talking to customers, talking to ambassadors or potential ambassadors. The goal is to educate people. They may or may not buy from you. I've had plenty of people I've talked to. I've talked to over a dozen people that will tell me they've already bought from somebody else. They just want to ask me questions about how to take it. Or they bought from somebody else and had a bad experience. I even have people who are currently buying from somebody else that I just try and make them educated about maybe a new product that might be helpful for them that they might not even know about. So guys, the goal is education. If you start a conversation with a price, pretty much know you're going to end the conversation with a no. Because the truth is, I mean, it was for me. If you just lead with the price and that's all they know about Plexus, they're going to tell you Plexus is too expensive 9 times out of 10 because all they're hearing is numbers in the 100 and you're like, I can't fit that into my budget. That's what I said. But the truth is, I do save more on the stuff that I used to buy than I spend on Plexus. So for me, it did work itself out. But if you would have told me that back then, I wouldn't have believed you. So just know that when you're talking to people and you feel like you're spinning your wheels and you're having this conversation with yourself, like, why is it that my business isn't going anywhere, or why am I not being successful, or how are all these other people adding people and nobody wants to buy from me? Guys, if you're talking to people and all you're getting is no's, there's not a candy-coated way to say this. The truth is, I'm selling the same products you are. Mandy's selling the same products you are. Chris and Susie are, who are diamonds. If you're constantly getting no's, it's probably your delivery. So you have to, I know how much I've changed. I've looked at conversations that I had in September. I looked at conversations that I had in April. And I've grown so much in the way that I talk to people. Relationships are number one. Number one, period. So you have to keep that in mind. If you're getting no after no after no, it's not the products, it's not the business, it's the way you're talking to people. And I know that that probably sounds harsh. I'm passing it on to you because that's what I heard. And I know that I had to take a step back and go, well, what is it that I'm saying? How is it that I'm saying it? How is it different? And I know one of the places that kind of gave me a little push, a little nudge, was Sonia Dudley has made several videos that are on YouTube that I watched that I felt like helped me, how to overcome rejection. I know multiple people have made them, but I know Sonia Dudley did, and she really talks, I think it's actually called How to Overcome Rejection. And in it, she talks about how to word what you say. And guys, that's a really helpful video. The number one thing, I posted it before, and I will say it again, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it again. One of the best things you could do for your business is either go buy the book or get the Audible, although I'd recommend the Audible because you'll make it through it in 3 hours. Eric Worre's GoPro. Best thing you'll ever do for your business. It has such amazing, phenomenal, I know in the past 3 weeks since I've listened to it, I've changed how much I talk to people. The way that you end a conversation. The way that you end a conversation with a potential, such as asking, even something as simple as, when would be a good time for me, like if you add them to testimonies, when would be a convenient time for me to follow up with you so that you have time to look at this? That way you're not being pushy. And that way, if they say, talk back with me on Monday, then when you talk back to them on Monday, you're not bugging them. They asked you to come back on Monday. it's very uncomfortable sometimes. You feel like you're bugging people when you message and things like that. And I know how that feels. I know you kind of feel like you're being a burden, and nobody wants that feeling. And you go in feeling, not confident and uncomfortable. That's horrible to feel that way. So always end a conversation with, when would be a good time to check back with you, that you'll have enough time to look over the products or look over the video. If you send them a Triflex video, we have that great Triflex health video on YouTube by Jill Werness, 3 minutes long. Send it to people. Guys, that's a huge resource. I use it all the time. It's so packed full of fantastic information. But when you send it to people, say, I'm going to send you a Triplex video talking about one of our fantastic, most popular combos. It's only 3 minutes long. If I send it to you now, when can I check back with you to see if you've watched it? Ask. And then they might say, in 10 minutes. They might say, tomorrow. Then check back with them tomorrow and say, so, how do you think that Triplex could help you? I found that asking questions, really helps to open up the conversation. Don't just throw a bunch of information at them and say, do you have any questions? I've had to talk with Jason a lot about that, so I've seen that one firsthand a lot lately. Because I've been kind of working with him on, instead of saying this, maybe you could try this. It might open communications. It might, spark more interest. So, if you feel like you're spinning your wheels, as harsh as it may sound, you need to evaluate how you're talking to people. I know you're probably not mean, and I know you're not short with people, but you may need to work on your delivery, and I'll be happy to help you. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect at it, and I'm growing every day. But that's the goal, is if it's not working, change it. You're going to be growing every day. If you're not, you're going to be in the same place next month and the month after that. Every month should be a growing process for you. I know it has been for me, and I know that's been helpful. So, if you have any questions or want me to help you with the 3-way call, message, whatever, I'm happy to help you work through it. Continue to grow on your own. Use YouTube, do messages, videos, ask questions, play around in the back office to learn info. There's so much out there to watch and see and read and learn about. So if you feel like you're not really knowing about the products, go learn about the products, because you can do this. I'm happy to help you. You can do this. Have a good day. Bye.